guy, and luck is a luck.
Hey guys, it's Midnight Philoppicer, and I'm here with some challenge locks that were sent to me by Hampus Gustafson, aka BrassPinPicker. And we'll go quickly over the locks that he sent. We have the Mini NR2, which is this little ASA lock here. And we have the Return. And we also have Sticks. I believe that's how it's pronounced, or Steaks or something like that. Hampus is a longtime community member who's made challenge locks in the past, took a break, and then now he's come back to make some more, and I'm really excited to share them. And I was also lucky that he was so generous to share with me some unique treats that I've been waiting to show here before I actually opened. But this one is Bilar, and this one is Dijangelveral. I'm probably butchering the name, but I'll try to read what it says on here. So besides that, and if someone who knows how to actually read this language, you can correct me if I'm saying well, I know I will be saying the things wrong, but this says Ahlgarens Sveriges mest kopta bill. Okay. And then this is Smargodis med rasande salt lakrismak. Lakritsmak. Okay, I think that's it. Anyways, so yes, thank you very much, Hampus, for sending me those snacks as well. Let's get those to the side, and I'm gonna start out with just one of these locks, and we're gonna come revisit two more of them down the road. So for now, those go to the side, and we're just going to focus on Mini NR2. So get that into the vise here first. And because of the back part here, I don't want to clamp it too hard so it doesn't limit the rotation too much. So I'll try to clamp it on the corner, but I might need to adjust it as I'm picking. Potentially if it starts to feel too loose or wobbly. We have the key, which is hidden here. Still have never seen that. I say still because it's been a long time since Hampus sent me these locks, since he sent them to me before I got back into making videos. He's been so generous with his time and his, sharing his stuff with me, and wanted to wait for me to get back into making videos, and told me not to rush and just get to them whenever I can, and figured it's about time to give them a good go and show them to you guys, and hopefully get them sent out and circulated in the community so he has some more of his challenge locks floating around. But let me start picking here right from the beginning. So just gonna go off of the ledge because the warding here on this keyway is a little bit tricky. So I could go from the bottom, but it's going to be very tight. I might go from the bottom at some points, but I'm going to try to also work from that ledge right there. Also, the picks I'm using are some Jimmy Long picks, and also a very special custom Jimmy Long tensioner that he is working on potentially bringing into production. And in this situation, feels really comfortable. Yeah. So feeling, just kind of going through the pins right now. The second one, it feels stiff, but it clicked up a bit. I have to kind of circle around the warding a little bit to get to some of these pins I'm finding. Once I get a little bit lower, then maybe I can put a bit more pressure on the pin. Oh yeah, nice little click there. And on my way back, I got a couple good clicks too. I still haven't worked my way, okay, there. Now I worked my way to the very back. And I got a little click on one. But core feels a bit loose here, so I'll just tighten it down a bit. Go back to the first one, getting a little bit of counter rotation on them. Oh, and it popped up a bit. 2. Just seeing if it's giving counter rotation as well. It is a little bit. It's almost like it wants to come back a bit. Should I push him? Is it going to be a trap? I should probably leave it for now. I'll come back to it later if I need. 3. Feels really low again. Try to pop it up a bit, maybe. Or maybe it's a low lift. Oh, it feels pretty okay. It is giving slight counter rotation, but that could just be from the feeling. That was just my pick slipping off the pin that made that click. But then it made another click. Oh, yes! I got it. That was very interesting. All of those little clicks. I wonder what's inside of here. Okay, let's take it apart. Lock is picked. Okay. And then finally take a look at this key. All right, I'm just gonna move this off altogether. So rotate it back to locked, so that way I don't mess around too much while I'm taking this apart. Let's see if I can unscrew this with my fingers. I cannot. Luckily I have these pliers here I could potentially use. I should really be using the proper crescent wrench, but if I just want to see how tight it is, it's not too tight on here, so just put some tension on it a bit with some leverage so I can get it spinning. The 2 little back screws off and the washer that's holding it in place. I have all these little things around my space to help me mark out my framework, but I'm accidentally kind of knocking them into frame occasionally here. That wasn't supposed to happen. Okay, now the key. I want to open this probably with a knife, but I don't have one handy right here. I have some scissors just around the corner. Oh, no, I just pulled it out. It came out. So this is the key. Interesting. So we had a high lift in the first one, low lift in the second. So that's what I felt before. That's what it felt like. And then we had a high lift in number 4 at the back. So there's 5 pins altogether, according to this key, and then a low lift on number 5. Okay, so let's test the key. Make sure that works well. Okay, it goes in nice and turns very smooth. Amazing. All right, and before I do any gutting, I'm actually gonna put in a shim, just because with challenge locks, it's a rule, like it not necessarily a rule, but you should always put in a shim with a challenge lock. You never know what kind of things are in there that can get stuck on the way or something. Turn it a bit to maybe help me get this shim in. See, the shim is proving to be difficult to get in, but I think I got it. Okay, and the back is also a little bit lower, so the shim will be important for gutting as well. Okay, so I'm not gonna turn it too much because I have the shim in there. I'm gonna get the follower and push it through with the shim. Leave the shim in with the follower. That. And I'll put that there for now. We'll look at those driver pins very soon, and let's take a look at the plug right here. Right off the bat, we can see something funky with slot 2. Okay, let's take out these pins one by one. So 5, spooled key pin on 4, nice little one, and on 3. There's a lot of traps in here. I'm lucky I didn't fall into those. Oh, I accidentally put the first one in the second slot, but that one goes here, and this one actually turns around, I believe. This way, yes. So those are our key pins, and I'm curious if there's any countermilling in the plug. Not on these slots or on this side. No countermilling in the plug. Always worth checking. And now we'll take a look at the driver pins quickly before we zoom in on everything all together. All right. Next, slot 1. Little, almost like a gin spool. Slot 2 is barely sticking up there. Very low tension on the spring. You know what, before I even take out slot 2, I'm going to drop out the spring because I don't know if the springs are different. So it's important to do the springs individually. Challenge locks. Let me see here. Blocking it. There we go. It's like almost like a little bi-lock spring, but with these little ASA cores. I'm sure that's what comes with it. So now the second slot, I have this little 3-step spool, so a double spool. Very cool. Mini one with its little spring, even smaller. Very, very small spring. Okay, next, slot 3. We have another little kind of gin spoolie thing. And the spring. I'm going to switch around the follower to the back side. Give myself a bit of an easier time. Very light spring tension on that back one there. I don't even know if there's a spring in that slot. Let me take a look here in a second. There might not even be a spring in that slot. Nope, there is no spring that I can feel in that slot. Let me put that pin back in there quickly just to see if it feels like... Yeah, there's a spring. It's at the bottom. It's I'm gonna try to maybe pop it out in a second after I get this last one. So I'll put this for here, slot 5. And slot 4. Wow, these pins look so cool. I'll try to get the spring out of slot 4 first. Okay, slot 4 spring. Again, very small. And now for that one from slot 5, if I can get it out. Nope, it doesn't want to come out. Oh, maybe it's coming out. No, it's kind of sideways a little bit. I can try to use a pick to pull it out. There we go. Oh, it fell into my lap. Okay, just grab that quickly. Very, very tiny, tiny spring. I'm lucky I could even see that. All right, let's take a look at everything zoomed in. I'm gonna just see if there's countermilling in the plug as well, or in the core, or the housing, I mean. Keep saying the wrong thing. Nothing so far on the first 2 slots, or the third, that I could feel. nothing on the 4th or the 5th. So no counter milling in the plug. Luckily I didn't have to deal with that. Oh, we still have a little bit more of the spring that just kind of fell out of that slot in the back there. So it's kind of like the spring might have split a little bit there or something, or it might have been that they go inside of each other like that. That makes more sense actually. Okay, so let's put it all nice and close up to the camera, and you guys can take a look at these very interesting pins. Sorry, I'm just getting up out of my chair, dropping everything. I'll leave the key down there for now, so that way we can just focus on the pins. So we have these very impressive little spools on 1 and 2 or 1 and 3. Then we have these very cool 3-step spools, and I actually have, I think this one might be upside down. Oh, that one is the same both ways. This one is the one that has this is the bottom side. This one is the same both ways. Same with here. And then for our key pins, we have all these very interesting, like torpedo and spooled type key pins. Every single one. Let me just flip this guy around, as he should be. And here is the plug. Luckily, no counter milling. Otherwise, those spools there, especially with how sharp those lips were, would have been super tricky to get out. But overall, amazing challenge lock. Felt very cool, and I'm excited to go for the other ones. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you to Hampus for sending this. Awesome challenge lock, buddy. Very fun. See you guys soon.